2, 1.
This podcast is brought to you by Galveston Express, your link between Galveston and the Houston airports. For more information and to book a ride, please visit galvestonexpress.com. Also brought to you by Undercurrent Athletics and Hard Knocks Gym, both located at the corner of 52nd Street and Broadway. For advertising info and inquiries, please contact Galveston Island Podcast at gmail.com.
Hello, everyone. We are back again. Ben, along with my buddy Alex over there. It is July the 6th. It's a beautiful day in Galveston. I hope everyone enjoyed their July 4th celebrations. I know I went out and watched the fireworks, had a good time. Alex, how you doing, sir?
Good. How are you? Those fireworks on 37th were really nice. We have a special guest today. Her name is Concetta Maceo. But first, we want to do a fishing report by my good buddy John Michael. We're going to start doing this every week. Expect some good fishing in the surf starting tomorrow and through the weekend. Seas are expected to be flat with 1-foot swells with a very light southwest wind in the morning, switching to southeast in the afternoon. Fish will be feeding hard at night this weekend with the coming full moon. People are catching several specks and some redfish from the beachfront during this time of the year with the flat and clean conditions. Popular baits have been live shrimp or live croaker, as well as marrodines and down south plastics. Okay, all right. So we got that out of the way. Let's get to our guest, Connie Maceo. How you doing, Connie?
I'm doing great. How are you, Alex?
I'm doing good.
And Ben?
It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
We just ate at the shop. It was really good. The food is always good.
Good, thank you.
So I just want to start off for anyone listening who has no clue who Connie is. What do you do on the island?
Well, I run Maceo Spice and Import Company down on 27th and Market Street. It's a little spice company and a restaurant. We also sell wholesale spices to all the restaurants in the area.
Then the name of it is Maceo Spice, correct?
Correct.
So how long has Maceo Spice been in your family? Most people don't know that the Maceos have a long relationship with Galveston Island.
That is true. Maceo Spice has... we've had it under a couple different names throughout the years, but my grandfather started the spice company in the 40s, about mid to late 40s, and he just sold wholesale spices to restaurants around the island as a hobby. And then my dad came in the 80s and teamed up with him, and they started making blends and sold those blends and specialty food items to restaurants. And then the restaurants' customers would kind of catch on and ask questions, what is this blend? What is this spice? Why does this taste so good? Where do you get it? Those typical questions. And they'd send them over to my dad. And my dad at first would just give samples out to people. And finally he realized that he was giving away way more samples than he probably should. So he started selling retail to just the general public. And then I came in a couple years ago and started improving the just foot traffic, online sales. I created an online presence and opened up the restaurant.
What's your website?
MaceoSpice.com.
Do you have Instagram?
I do have the Instagrams.
Do you take pictures of your spices?
I do.
In various locations?
No, I don't do that, but I do. I take pictures of stuff that I cook, and then I like to share stuff that people tag.
Do they
my
also
spices
they
in.
also put the spices in the picture?
They do. It's actually pretty awesome. I see pictures almost every day of someone using my spices, so it's pretty cool.
Okay, so what brought you to Galveston? You said that you came here a couple years ago. What let people know why you came?
So my dad had a liver transplant, was really sick, and I moved back from Austin to Houston to kind of live closer. And when he had his transplant, I took care of him and thought, I might go to nursing school. So I moved down here to go to nursing school and realized that I really didn't want to do that. I caught myself in like A&P drawing out floor plans and people's schedules instead of trying to pay attention. And, that kind of really, made me realize as I'm, spending all this money on nursing classes.
Where'd you go to school?
I was just taking classes over at Galveston College to finish up the few credits that I had left from St. Edward's.
That's an awesome.
for nursing. I graduated, but not with any kind of like medical degree. So I minored in biology. So I had a couple things to finish up to get into nursing school. But I'm glad I made that decision before I actually started nursing school, because that would have been
What'd you do right out? What'd you do
out.
before the shop? Besides nursing school?
I was a makeup artist at Nordstrom for a couple years. Worked with a couple different lines. And then I got a job with Republic National as a wine rep. And I sold wine to restaurants all over the north side of Houston.
That's a fun job.
That was a really fun job. It really was. Stressful, but fun.
I can be your wine rep for Maceo's.
Yeah? You'll sell me wine?
Yeah.
Okay, lots of tasting.
Okay. We can make that happen.
It's kind of hard to get an appointment in with me.
Really?
Yeah.
I know a guy over there. He'll be all right.
Okay. All right, well.
Hey, when you said your granddad started the business, was he in downtown area as well?
Yeah.
Have you guys always been down here?
Yes. We've had different locations throughout the years, but we've stayed pretty much downtown most of the time. We've had the building that we're in now for a very, very long time, but it hasn't always been our retail location. It used to just be our packing warehouse.
Sure. Are you gonna get a bigger one eventually? You think it'll keep
Hopefully.
growing?
We're working on it right now.
You guys, speaking of growing the shop, you bought the lot next to you how long ago?
A little over a year ago, I want to say.
Does that really help with the growing demand for at lunchtime?
You know, it does help. Now, I mean, right now it's pretty hot outside, so people don't necessarily want to eat, but we have these awesome umbrellas that they can sit under that really block a lot of the heat. So we do still have people who sit out there, but not as much. But I do anticipate that lot being used to its fullest come the end of summer, beginning of fall.
So you have a pretty big following in Galveston, you'd say.
Yes, absolutely.
Are they your biggest customer base, or how well do you do with tourism and?
Well, yeah, our most of our customers come from the island. They're all locals. We're well known for our good food and our great spices.
Well, today is Thursday, so what's today?
Meatball day? Thursday, so it's spaghetti and meatballs. Yep, and we usually sell out of those before lunch is over every Thursday. But yeah, we have a good following of tourists as well. People from all over come down, whether they're coming down for vacation or going on a cruise or whatever. They come by the shop and stock up on their spices before they head home. And then we also offer online sales, so they can always replenish online.
What so you ship? Where do you ship?
All over the United States.
Is it frequently that people want to buy from you, or is it?
We have orders come through.
Do you know the most popular item?
Seafood seasoning.
The seafood seasoning.
Oh man, it's the best.
I go through that like
water.
Like
it's the best.
A fat kid with chocolate cake. I'd tear through it. So kind of take us back to when you came to the island and your dad was sick, and you were kind of helping really grow the shop. What did you start from? Like where did the shop was what state was it at?
Man, okay, so when I started, I really didn't want to, because I've tried to insert myself into the business since I was about 13, and my dad wasn't very receptive of that. But I waited for his approval to say, hey, why don't you come work? I needed a job, and so I started as just like a front cashier in the shop, and we really had just like maybe 10 people max coming in every day for lunch. Very low key. We had a ton of wholesale business, but I didn't really see it, you don't
and that's
see
the Galveston brand? Old Galveston
brand, yep. So we had a lot of that still going, but not as much front of house. And, I looked at it like, how can I get people through the doors? So I started posting online because our food is delicious, and we've always made sandwiches. So, I thought,
that's the famous muffalata sandwich, right?
Yes. And like our roast beef and our po' boy and a couple others, like the Italian and a couple others are delicious. And so, I would post every day on Facebook, letting people see, what they looked like, and that really drew a lot of people. We'll see about 80 to 100 people on an average lunch now.
So the nickname, the Spice Queen.
The Spice Queen, that's me.
Did that come from the Houston Chronicle, or was that coined to you from a long time ago?
That was from the Houston Chronicle. They came in to do an interview, and I had no idea they were even coming. We sat down, they interviewed me, and then I had no idea when they were going to run it. Turns out they ran it like 3 days later.
You sold out of muffaladas today.
We sold out of everything the day that came out. And then I can't even tell you how many different newspapers picked up that story across the country, because it's like a real good feel-good story. How, my grandfather started it, my dad took over, now I'm taking over, and they just kind of dubbed me the Spice Queen, and that stuck since.
When was that?
I want to say that was in 2014. Right when I started running everything.
How big is your like following now?
I don't look.
You don't look. You just kind of do it and
Just
do it to it.
Yeah.
And how many sandwiches you sell? That's how good business is.
Yeah. I'm a numbers girl, so even though I don't know, what our following is on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or I don't tweet.
Now, what's the claim to fame with this muffalata sandwich?
Well, it's the ultimate best.
It's shriveled in controversy.
It is. So my grandfather, when he was a little boy, used to work for my Uncle Tony Lavoie in New Orleans. My family came over from Sicily to New Orleans was the first stop, and a lot of them came here to Galveston first, but my grandfather and his family stayed in New Orleans for a while. So when my grandpa was really little, he went to work with my Uncle Tony Lavoie, and okay, sorry.
The mics get kind of weird if you pick them up.
So, I picked up the mic. Yeah, I'm sorry, people.
It's okay.
All right, so back to my story.
Tony Lavoie.
So yeah, my grandpa used to go to work with his Uncle Tony Lavoie, and he'd go and sell muffaladas to the stores. And my family lays claim to the original muffalata. And when you come taste it, you can taste that the flavors in it. You won't even doubt that it's the best.
Are there other people that claim that they started the muffalata?
Of course. Mostly in New Orleans, which is understandable because, it's where the sandwich is from. But, we have no shame. I will stand by that claim.
My favorite's the BOI.
BOI is so good.
Hands down. Who made the BOI?
So John Collins, he's a local police officer and photographer. He texted me one day and was like, "Hey, I wanna create a sandwich with you. I got an idea." So I told him, I said, "Yeah, come in on a slow day." So he came in. I think it was like a Tuesday afternoon, and we got in the kitchen, and between he and I, we created the BOI. It was mostly his idea. I just put the finishing touches on it to kind of bring it all together. But, it's just an awesome sandwich. There's our house-made pesto, roasted red peppers, capicola, sopressata, Swiss provolone cheese, chopped up artichokes, balsamic glaze with a little of our Italian seasoning, olive oil on ciabatta bread. It's phenomenal.
That was a mouthful right there.
And
the sandwich is a mouthful.
Is too. Yeah.
I like that ciabatta bread. It's different from what else is on the island. What else you guys have in the menu?
It's true.
That meatball sub is huge.
Yes.
You need to see this thing in person.
It's big. We don't play around. And all of our meatballs are stuffed with cheese. So when you cut into it, the cheese just oozes out. People just cannot get over that.
You do catering for parties too, right?
I do.
What kind of parties do you do?
What kind of parties don't I do? Is the real question.
Tell us.
What was the last party you did, Connie?
Oh, well, the last thing I catered was a funeral. Actually, it's not a laughing matter.
It's kind of a downer.
Yes, thank you. But no, I cater anything. I'll cater a birthday party. I've catered anniversary parties. I've catered other businesses.
Just a meat and cheese tray?
No, I cater pretty much anything and everything.
Do you ever do like meatball catering or not yet?
Yes,
You have?
for
Oh,
sure.
wow.
So the most recent one I did meatballs. I did a couple different salads. I did a antipasto tray, muffalata tray, cannoli tray. I've catered gumbo before, crawfish cornbread, crawfish and corn soup. During Mardi Gras, we cater. We don't cater, but we do cater, but we sell a ton of king cakes that go along with catering. But yeah, just anything. People come to me, and I ask them what they want, and that's what we make. If I can do it,
So y'all are really connected in the food industry.
Yes.
On the island.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, it is.
So you always have these big parties too with this, this lot next door, correct? Right now.
We've had a few. My dad actually, with his friends, Cruz Cortez and Bubba Donovan, they are called the Coconut Grove Bunch, and that started on 25th Street. They just would get together and throw a party in the middle of 25th Street with a band and all that. And they've moved it since to our lot on 27th and Market, and we have the park board donates a stage, and we've got the trash cans, porta potties, food, beer, everything you need to party.
Is it annual?
No, he actually does it when he wants. But it's every couple months. I feel like he does them. So, but I only advertise on Facebook for it, and we get a good couple hundred people out for it every time he does it. So it's a good turnout. I'm sure if I tried to advertise more for it, it would be bigger.
Do you have any of that Galveston Island brewing beer there?
Of course, only.
And don't they sell your sandwiches?
They do. We've got our muffalata, our po' boy, and our roast beef out there. GIB is the best place on the island next to Maceo Spice.
I think they got number 13 in the national
They
breweries.
made it on that list.
on
I'm
Yelp.
so proud of them.
They've done a great job since they've opened.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember right when Mark opened up, a good friend of mine, SherryUstinoff, went to Mark. She loved the brewery and loved Maceo's. She went to Mark and she said, you need food out here and it needs to be Maceo's. So she kind of brokered that deal, but he came over and he and I put the muffalata out there, and it's grown into 3 different sandwiches. We also do our Cajun nut mix out there, but it started a family relationship on the island between Maceo's and GIB. It's a great relationship we have.
When'd you get that mural done?
In March, we had Daniel Anglou come down from Houston to do it. He's a well-known mural artist that's up in Houston. He's done stuff all over, but most notably in Houston. But the Galveston Art Center actually commissioned him to come down and paint on our wall. I'm so blessed to have that, because our wall was just a huge blank white wall that he picked out of everywhere on the island to paint.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take him? Because that is a big wall.
I know. I want you to guess how long it took him. How long?
I don't know, a week?
A week? What's your guess?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Try 2.5 days.
That's it?
Really?
That was it?
Yep. It took him maybe max 3 days.
Really?
Yes.
He's
I'm
good.
He's so good. And it doesn't usually take him that long. But he had students from the Bernardo de Galvez school.
Oh, they were watching him?
No, they came and helped him. So
so he had helpers.
Yeah. So
but
they
he
helped,
just kind of etched it out.
Well, kind of. They helped lay the base. So there are a bunch of different layers that go with his art. So they do. And if you go on our Facebook, I have pictures in an album with the process that he did. So you can see that on there, but it shows the process and I mean, when he first was drawn on our wall, I was like, what is this dude doing? Because
Look crazy.
it was just big random semicircles everywhere. I was like, how is this going to turn into what he does? But I didn't question it. It was just
It's funny. It's funny to see something that he just makes look easy, and you're like, what is?
Yeah, and he freehands it all. There's no stencil,
ruling,
no layout, nothing. He just stands back and looks at the wall and says, I see a bird out of that. And then we'll create this beautiful bird. It's nuts. It's nuts. I wish I had that talent.
You make beautiful sandwiches, though.
I appreciate that. I try.
And not everybody can do that.
That's true.
It's very true. So what was the event like when you had it for the mural
It was
opening?
It
When was
a
it? It was
good-
like a month ago?
Yeah, actually, it was supposed to be sooner. He finished in March, but he was busy, and then I was busy, and then I was out of town, and he was unavailable. So
You were getting married too, right?
I was getting married. So part of the reason why I was busy. But yeah, once we all got back into town, we scheduled the mural unveiling. I think it was Memorial Day weekend. And at first I was like, this will be great. Everybody will be on the island, big turnout. But if you think about it, like, where is everybody for Memorial Day?
The beach.
Yeah. Or their backyard, barbecuing with, like, all their family. So it wasn't, like, as good of a turnout as I liked. But, I mean, it still was very good. It just wasn't like my dad's parties. My dad made that, very clear to me that he throws better parties than I do.
What? So how long have you been in the West Market area?
Well, we've had our retail in West Market. You could argue we've been in the West Market area for like the past decade, really, because we moved to 25th in Market in the early mid 2000s. So, I mean, it was like maybe 2000 actually, when we moved to 25th and Market and split up and moved our warehouse to 27th. But it was after the hurricane that we moved everything down to 27th Street.
So right on 2008.
Where does West Market start?
25th.
25th.
25th to 33rd.
33rd.
Yeah.
Who do you share? Who are your neighbors in West Market?
Okay, so we have a kind of a good little crew down there. So working this way, you've got Twice Around Treasures, little antique shop. Then you have the Galveston Barbecue, which is the block over from me.
It's called Galveston Barbecue?
To the east, yep, Galveston Barbecue. And then you've got us, across the street from us is DTO, which is an awesome specialty cocktail bar. They're open at night 4 to, I guess, 2 a.m. Really delicious cocktails. I highly suggest going on a date night there for anybody that's over 21. And then right next door to them is the Gypsy Joint. Really cool, eclectic menu. Cool little place. Definitely a place to check out. And then you go a little further down, you have Miss Weta with Soul to Soul, and she has the most amazing fried ribs and oxtail and banana pudding.
I love oxtail.
It's so good.
Where's the farmer's market?
I've never been. It's kind of out there. I mean, it's like the last restaurant on that little strand, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? We used to be the last restaurant on the little strand, and people still went. So
Hey.
I'll have to get out there sometime. I love barbecue, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Where's the farmer's market?
Farmer's market is.
Isn't it over there?
So yeah, they are on 26th, in between 25th and 26th on Post Office. So they're a block up from West Market, but they're still kind of in that area. But they are Sundays only there, and then they also have a market on Thursday up at McGuire Dent.
You go buy ingredients there?
I used to. I haven't been in a long time because now I go to church during the hours that they're open, and I like to sleep in, and it's summer, so they close up pretty early. So
Where do you source all your stuff from? Just all over?
All over.
You just find something you like, and that's who you're going to get it from?
Yep. When Casey with Moondog Farms has some good basil, I use her basil for my pesto.
Was that a plug? Was that a plug-in?
Was it? Hey, Casey. You got the best basil. No, I mean, well, if that's a plug, then all the others were too.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Sneak in advertisement plugs.
Yeah.
Connie, I got to talk to you about something.
Okay. Go.
The Maceos are a proud new owner of a golf cart.
We are.
Folks, Connie's been nice enough to let me drive her around on it, and I'm addicted. I have to have one now.
Yeah, I highly suggest it.
Especially living down here and working down here.
You need it.
I could just cruise to Maceo's for lunch.
Exactly.
Those golf carts are nice.
They are.
It's kind of like, out in the open, you don't want to get in your car because it's hot. You just kind of hop on the golf cart.
You have to get that thing registered?
I have no idea.
You should probably know that.
It's my dad's.
Okay.
I just screwed
Leave
on
it
it.
to
But I'm
him.
pretty sure you have to register it.
You have to have blinkers and a
you have
horn.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
That's a short list.
blinkers, horn, and brake lights.
yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah, and then that's it. And you just kind of register it with the city. I don't think you can go over the 35 speed limit.
Well, I don't think
Everywhere.
anything goes that fast.
Really?
The
You
gas
can't-
ones do.
You can't.
You can get the
drive-
gas ones that fast.
You cannot drive on Broadway. You cannot drive on Harborside, and you cannot drive on Seawall.
But any street in between or crossing over them is okay.
Yes, you can cross over them, and I don't think you can drive on O and P.
The one ways.
Yeah, but
Why
I
not?
don't know.
We just
for
go
sure
right next
about
to it.
those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always take the other streets anyway, because you're not. Cars are going a lot faster than you on those streets.
Yeah, but you're
and
supposed to
I
hit
just don't
everyone listening, you're supposed to hit 30 on O and P.
Don't take O and P.
You don't like the one ways? Oh, you're trying to keep it a little secret.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's better to get the knowledge out there if we would all drive 30.
Don't take O
If
and
everyone
P.
drove 30, don't speed up and think that.
Don't take them.
Come
Yeah.
on, Connie. That's not for the good of the whole right there.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. To create a new
Your golf cart doesn't go 30 miles an hour, does it?
No, I don't think so. I haven't tried it. I've never
Maxed
tested
it out.
it out.
If it
I
does, you
maxed
should.
it out. I just don't know how fast
You
I'm
got the
going.
speedometer out.
You got a lead foot, don't you, Connie? You just
Yes.
smash
I
the
just
gas.
gun it. I do. Why not?
Watch your children on the strand, folks. Connie
Hey, I got
is
the
driving.
horn. I got the horn.
Move out the way.
Bing bing.
Just talking about it's getting me excited for one.
You need to go get one.
I
I
know.
forget where we got it. The
36?
36th Street. I don't know the name of it, but
Are there multiple golf cart dealers?
Then look up
now?
the name.
I
Look at the
think
name of that
so.
golf cart place.
look up the name.
36 and what? What do you think? What do you think one of those runs?
In Broadway.
Are they gonna know?
No, what do you
what's
think one of
up?
those runs?
If I say Connie Maceo sent me, are they gonna know that?
Is
I'm
that
in
on the
business?
north side?
Just tell them the Maceo sent
It's
you.
on the north side, right?
Yes.
It's kind of like in a little nook.
Yeah. Also, the Maceos are a new proud owner of another Cadillac.
Oh, I saw that black Cadillac.
Yep.
I really like that. Tell me
It
about
was
the
super
about the
clean.
beats, how it was. Whose
Frankie,
is that?
Frankie just
So
got
my
it from Classic
husband
Auto.
has
Frank
taken
Maceo,
up
city
a,
councilman.
When did
new
he get it?
hobby
Is
of
District
beekeeping.
3.
District 3.
And
For all you
started
voters out there, she
sometime
is.
last
new
year
now?
had a hive down
His
here
sister.
and it failed.
Yeah.
And
What's it called?
That did not stop him.
Coastal
He got
Cruisers?
another hive.
Coastal
Sure.
Cruisers.
And he's expanded it out
Like
to
that
4
big
hives
cruise
now.
over there.
We harvested
that
our
name.
first
Maybe
batch
Connie's
of
gonna
honey
give me a
Was
Was
ride.
it good?
last week. It's
What's
delicious.
what's around the shop to be pollinized?
Well, our bees are not at the shop. They're in Dickinson.
Oh, they're in Dickinson.
Mhm.
Okay.
But around the shop, so there is a local beekeeper that's about a block and a half, 2 blocks away from me, at the shop. And
I said pollinized, didn't I?
yes, you did.
I meant pollinated.
Yeah, there you go. I knew what you meant. But right now with all the rain we've had, the flowers and the plants are really blooming some serious business. So we're getting really, really tangy, delicious honey right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's big business in bees.
There is.
Where are all the bees going, Connie?
Where
Do
are
you
they
know?
going?
Do you know? Are you in the inn?
I saw them off of 45, right
Yes.
past the marshes,
Uh-huh.
and like I think a little before Dickinson,
Yes.
and they put them right where on the patch of those trees.
That's where the disappearing bees are going. To off
No.
Oh no, you meant like disappearing? Oh, it's pesticides
Yeah,
killing them,
I'm sure it is.
killing them,
Just dropping dead
Mhm.
mid-flight.
dropping dead.
But bees also don't have a very long lifespan anyway, so I mean I'm sure pesticides make a huge impact on them, but
They had a beekeeper. They have a beekeeper conference here every year.
I know, and I wanted Destin to go, but we didn't find out about it till like Sunday
Have you seen those?
when it was over.
Have you seen those beehives that go outside your window?
What?
You can like have the beehive in your home
That's weird.
and like watch it, and
I
then
don't wanna do
the
that.
bees will go
Oh,
down
that's neat.
a tube and
That's neat.
bring the pollen back.
Does Maceo sell honey?
I do. I
Where
sell
do you get your honey home?
3
from?
different honeys.
Is it local?
I sell Jack Jansen's honey. His company is Texas Bee Company. I sell Don Bush's honey. I think his company is just called Bush's Honey. And then I also sell Sid Holiday's honey, which is probably the most known on the island, which is the Pure Being.
Pure Being.
Pure Being.
Where are all those companies located at?
Jack is a couple blocks from me. Mr. Bush has stuff all over Galveston and right on the other side of the causeway, and so does Sid.
So all real local stuff.
Yeah. I only carry local. I've played with the idea of bringing in some like French honey, like infused lavender
fancy.
and stuff, but you know,
Sometimes those lavender infused ones just taste like someone slathered up some fresh lavender but put way too much on.
yes. But usually the ones that I get, you know, I vet out and they're delicious. I don't carry anything that isn't, you know, tested out and, you know, dynamite.
That's my favorite thing about the shop show is like, try this, and it's like a test product. You know, and I'm like, oh, that tastes terrible. She's like, I know, right?
At no point has Alex ever said that our food tastes terrible.
Well, no, some of the items that people send you sometimes. Not your food. Your food's always delicious.
You're right.
And why are you using Alex as a guinea pig? Every time I go in there, Alex, taste this.
It's
Why not?
only like a handful of times I said it's not good, and she's like, good, I won't try it. I won't have that product here. Otherwise, she makes like blackberry pies.
He's not the ultimate judge, is he?
No.
I was about to say I wouldn't
No.
trust him.
If I
I
have
love
like
food, though,
sample
so.
stuff, I sample out to a number of my customers.
Oh, yeah.
So we just try it out, try this. My dad's notorious for that, especially during oyster season. He's always coming up with a new oyster recipe. And you know, he'll sit you down and tell you, I'll be right back, and then come back with like a plate full of different
That gumbo
stuff.
is something serious.
That gumbo is serious.
Those hot sauces that you put out just go away really fast. Do you sell any good hot sauce?
We do. We've got a couple different stuff on the shelf. You gotta come in and check it out.
Okay, so let's get back to West Market. What do you see long term in terms of like economic development in West Market, and what you see it growing to in a couple of years?
So my vision with West Market is kind of like a blend between SoCo in Austin and Little Italy in New York. Just kind of like that family vibe of Little Italy, but with that like cool hipster, if you will, vibe of SoCo. With the restaurants and the shops and just, you know, like foot traffic friendly, you know, cool place to be.
Are there a lot of vacant lots out there?
There are. People are buying them up left and right though, so, you know, I don't anticipate it to be empty for much longer. It's slowly filling in. We've been working with the IDC to
For people who don't know, IDC is like the bank for the city.
yeah, the Industrial Development Corporation. Yeah, so they have funded a new project on West Market. So that's like 25th to 33rd. They're going to be redoing all the streets. And they've teamed up with the city also, so their funds coming from both ends, which is not included from the bond issue. I know people have been like crazy asking me left and right, is this part of the taxes that are going up?
Is it
No, it's
part
not.
of the bond?
It's not. It was funded before and approved before the bond was even voted on. So that money is not being touched for this project. But anyway, so yeah, they're going to be redoing the sidewalks. They're going to be putting in lighting, putting in landscaping. We've been talking with the people over at Centerpoint for them to...
Are they going to do those big sidewalks like you guys are proud owners of?
I think so. I think they talked a little bit about widening the street, but I don't think too much. I think it's still going to be real nice. But I'm pretty excited because it's going to be just a nice, welcoming environment. They're going to make it match kind of like the downtown area with the nice lighting and, you know.
Who's the city council member for your district?
We have Miss Amy Bly as our district representative.
Okay, so I got to ask, what's your favorite recipe?
You know, right now, probably my shrimp burger is my favorite. It's one of the best things that we make up at the shop. And it is my personal recipe that I came up with.
Is that just like a special that people have to wait for?
It is. And I only make 18 when I make them. And I don't really advertise it too much. When I make it. And I don't save them for people. If you come in, you order it, you get it. I usually sell out by like 1 o'clock.
Shoot me a text
What are you-
next time.
Yeah, what are your hours for lunch?
For lunch, we're open 11 to 3.
What is your favorite animal?
What is my favorite animal? Y'all should know that.
I know it. Ben, do you know it?
No.
Connie, tell him.
It's a kitty cat. I love cats.
Connie
Cats are
told
the
me to
best.
ask her what
I
is her
did.
favorite animal, and I thought it was going to be something like an ocelot, something crazy, and you said a kitty cat.
Okay, look, ocelots are awesome. They are feline.
I want an ocelot really
anything
bad.
Feline.
That's my favorite cat.
You
I love
just like
cats.
kitty cats, big and
Look,
small.
I love cats. All cats.
How many cats you got?
I have one cat.
Gumby
I was
cat.
expecting you to say like 9 or some
No,
crazy
I have
gumbo
a 2
number.
cat per household limit. Personally.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have one. His name is Gumbo. Well, his real name is Sir Gumbo Filet.
It's my best friend.
He's an awesome cat.
Is
He's
he
a little
indoor or outdoor?
Siamese. He's in
Both.
and outdoor.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he's just like the coolest cat in the world.
Really?
Yes.
Ben doesn't know, but me and that cat go way back.
Why
Yeah.
do you say that?
Because he is. I raised him. He's just awesome. He's like he's sweet, but he's kind of cray. He will fight, you know, if he needs to, but like is a lover cat. He gets along with dogs.
Are you a dog person?
Huh?
Are you a dog person?
That's a negatory.
I like dogs.
That's
like-
about it.
You're not a dog person. Why are you not a
Obviously
dog
not a
person?
dog
I'm
person.
not gonna say no because dogs aren't terrible,
But you,
but
if you have a
like
preference,
I love cats. So there is no like question. I love cats.
You're a cat
If I
lady.
could be a cat, I would. When I was little, I used to legit think I was a cat. I used to meow at people.
I bet that was a
I
sight to
still
see.
kind of do. You know, like in Super Troopers where they like do a little meow skit. I do
Yeah.
that all the time.
I'm still waiting on that second
like
movie.
professional emails. I'll like email, you know, Berlin Packaging, and I'm like, hey,
Hey, meow.
can you send that out right meow? And they always are like, right meow, ha ha ha. I'm like, yeah, that's what I said.
Now send them out, please.
Come on.
Okay, so now, what improvements would you like to see on the island in the future?
You know, I would love to see a consistency with timed lights going down like Broadway. Not so much Harborside because you don't have a ton of lights, except over in that like downtown Port 21st area.
There's a left turn light on 23rd into a non-existent
And-
left turn, and it drives me nuts.
It drives me nuts. It does. So,
How hard is it to fix? I forget where they did it, but they added the yield lights
Yeah.
on. I forget where.
61st.
61st Street. There's a yield
Turning
light.
into like, I don't know, right in between like Bank of America and Randall's.
Yeah, there's a yield light, and it makes traffic like
It's legit.
10 times easier.
It is.
I get stressed out on Harborside because you know you'll be right there. near
Oh, and then-
Strand,
but- and then
you'll
you
see
get-
all the lights and you're stressed and you're like, I gotta make this, and then you just red.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's green, and you're hitting it, and you're like, these lights aren't supposed to stay this green this long. I don't know.
I made it down 61st the whole entire way one time, straight greens.
Impossible.
I did. I swear.
He's
I did.
lying.
From Target.
It was a
from
dream.
the Target parking lot.
This is not true.
The entire.
When I leave my
61st.
house in the morning, I live off 69th. I go all the way down to the Strand, and it's greens.
They're tearing up Stewart Road right now. Have you seen
It's
it?
destroyed.
No.
Yeah.
On between
Really? They just did that
between
last year.
between 61st and 53rd.
Mhm.
That whole Stewart Road
Yeah,
patch is going to
Oh,
get
on
redone.
messed
Stewart.
up.
Yes.
For some reason I thought you said 61st.
No, they did a good job on that.
The count,
They
the,
did,
you know,
and
the,
it was,
the
like,
count.
overnight,
Well,
too.
the county's the one who does 61st Street.
Oh. So how long are they going to be working on Stewart?
It's the
They're
city.
mov- they seem to be moving slow. I mean, I don't
It's
know.
the city,
but-
so
Oh, it's
I
the
don't.
city.
I don't know how.
That would be a good improvement to see projects be done a little quicker.
Yeah.
But, you know, you've got a lot of factors that come into play. So,
With the bond election, they got plenty of money to work with,
yes.
especially with
What, they got a lot of cash?
the bond was for the roads.
How much was the bond for? You know?
I forget how much it
Oh,
was.
man, if you asked me that like a week ago, I could tell you.
Why would you know it a week ago?
Because it was still in my memory bank.
The weekly memory bank, you clear the cash.
I clear it out.
Really?
Well, there's like a time limit of like a month, and then after a month, I'm like,
Yep. Gone. Useless.
mm-hmm. So, but I bet if you called your city council person, he could tell you. That's Frank
Frank.
Maceo.
You're in District 1.
He is.
Ben
He's
is
doing
too.
a good job in this area.
He is. He really
He
is.
really is. He's making some changes.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
He's doing some good stuff. Call him. You know what? You should have
Call
him
him
on
up.
here.
Have a yeah.
He
Get,
would-
That's what
love
Alex
it.
was saying today. Frank's a character.
I
We-
almost brought him with me, but I was like, he's gonna overpower my.
we'll
My
get him.
time.
We'll get him separately.
I'll call him.
He looks so executive in that
We
Cadillac.
we also I've also
I made him pick that Cadillac. He was gonna buy a BMW. I told him no.
Yeah.
blacked out caddy.
I
That's
like
the
that
way to
blacked out
go.
Cadillac.
Yeah, I didn't want to buy him white sunglasses.
But
so
doesn't he whip a Corvette too?
he traded it in?
oh he traded
he's
the
done with
Corvette
that.
in.
Bye.
Buy
Thank
sports car.
goodness.
Hello,
I like that.
luxury.
I like that. That's really nice.
He did not need a Corvette.
He didn't.
That is not him. He needed a Cadillac.
It's something to cruise in. I talked to the for our listeners, we're trying to get the Galveston Municipal Police Association on here, among other interviews. I think this was a really productive conversation with Concetta Maceo
Well, thank
from
you.
Maceo Spice. What's your Instagram handle for everyone out there listening to go check it out, and Facebook?
Maceo Spice.
Just Maceo Spice.
That's it.
All right, everybody.
Thank y'all for having me.
We are signing out.
Peace.
Come back anytime, Connie.
Come see me at Maceo's.
Follow us, share the podcast. We are now on iTunes as of like 2 hours ago. So, yeah,
Super exciting.
super exciting. Even though no one else is excited as I am.
I'm really excited.
Connie's excited. Look at her face.
I'm gonna go share that on our Facebook.
So we'll be coming back to you with video shortly. Anyway, have a good day, everyone in Galveston. And Ben, please sign us off.
Thanks, everybody. As always, stay salty.